History is the story of God, His story. And as we approach the end of this year, God is both shaking and speaking to our world. We are witnessing earthquakes, storms, floods, and volcanoes. Today, we will explore a historical event that resonates deeply with our present experience. In a period of darkness, a light appeared that continues to shine today. We will also embrace the beauty of this Christmas season by singing that cherished song.
Nation will rise against nation, kingdoms will clash, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes. These are just the beginnings of sorrows, leading to affliction and persecution.
A volcano in the Philippines has erupted, releasing ash and smoke over 2 kilometers into the atmosphere. The Taal volcano, located on the country's main island of Luzon, has a historically lethal reputation, and its recent activity has raised considerable alarm.
All is serene, and then bam, ash and smoke rocket over 2 kilometers high from the Taal volcano in the Philippines, just 100 kilometers south of Manila. Thermal cameras caught the fiery drama of 3 explosive bursts.
Forget the eruption on January 14th, 2022. Residents of Anchorage, Alaska, heard loud bangs caused by the Hung Tonga underwater volcano erupting nearly 6,000 miles away in the Tongan archipelago. The volcano, which had been dormant since December 2021, emitted a significant ash plume and gas, and even increased the island's size. Do you have anything else?
Yes, Susan. The Hung Tonga volcano's major explosion left volcanic gas and ash in the upper atmosphere, where they are dispersed globally by winds. Even smaller volcanic events can lead to delayed spring thaws and result in frosts during the growing season.
If a similar event occurred today, I wonder if we would be prepared. I doubt it could lead to another year without summer.
Thank you for sharing the latest update. A year without sun, I'm afraid that might become a reality now. On November 5th, 2025, the Sheveluch-Kamchatka Volcanic Ash Advisory Center issued a warning regarding an ash plume that reached an estimated height of 15,000 feet, which is approximately 4,600 meters. And here's an intriguing fact. By late November 2025, we've recorded 63 confirmed eruptions from 58 distinct volcanoes this year alone. Now, turning our attention to volcanoes, Tambora in Indonesia is currently exhibiting some unrest, maintaining an alert level of 1, categorized as normal. However, it's important to note that there have been no major eruptions in 2025. The last significant eruption occurred back in 1967, but its most notorious event happened in April 1815, which had global climate effects. This event was the primary reason behind the phenomenon known as the Year Without a Summer. Mount Tambora erupted with extraordinary ferocity. 3 columns of lava surged upward and merged during a monumental explosion, converting the volcano into a raging torrent of molten fire. This catastrophic event led to the complete obliteration of the village of Tambora. Furthermore, the nearby village of Sanggar, located roughly 19 miles about 35,000 kilometers away, also faced devastation. The disastrous eruption of Mount Tambora resulted in the deaths of at least 10,000 individuals and left 35,000 more homeless. This release caused a significant blockage of sunlight, leading to a drop in global temperatures by as much as 3 degrees Celsius or 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Did the weather change history? In 1815, an Indonesian volcanic eruption released electrically charged ash that disrupted Earth's atmosphere, resulting in widespread adverse weather conditions across the globe. The battle was affected by rain on June 17th and 18th, creating a soaked ground that delayed military movements. As the rain intensified, thunder and lightning approached, coinciding with the enemy's arrival. The storm's violence was marked by heavy rain, roaring guns, and powerful thunder that shook the earth. If it hadn't rained on 17th and 18th of June, 1815, the Battle of Waterloo's outcome might have changed, affecting Europe's very fate. The battle, fought in a small area, resulted in 47,000 soldier casualties and led to Napoleon's abdication and exile to Elba. Indeed, this very eruption, my friends, it caused significant weather changes across all of Europe, leading as it did to the infamous year without a summer in 1816. This climate anomaly, it brought forth unseasonably cold conditions, not without justification. Did people of the time refer to 1816 as 1800 and froze to death? The entire country is in a state of disaster, and yet, in his mysterious ways, it inspired great artists like Turner and Constable, who were utterly captivated by the vibrant sunsets and the unusual, ethereal lighting created by those volcanic aerosols. And if you look at Turner's works from this period, they beautifully reflect the intensified red and yellow hues of the very skies above. Yes, William Turner and Jane Austen both experienced very wet and stormy weather, which indeed influenced their personal letters and artistic works.
Weather miserably wet, I shall be web-footed like a drake. Rain, 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 day after day. Italy deluged, Switzerland a washpot, and Neuchâtel, Bienne, and Murat lakes.
Jane Austen, a renowned English novelist, famous for her romantic fiction. In a letter to her niece, dated June the year 1860, she vividly described a neighbor who was, and I quote, soaked to the skin by a rain shower, beyond everything.
Beyond everything. Oh, it rains again. It beats against the window. Such weather gives one little temptation to be out. It is really too bad, and it has been for a long time, much worse that anybody can bear, and I begin to think it will never be fine again.
Austen. She is widely recognized, indeed, for her literary works, including Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. Near constant rain kept a small group of writers indoors. The song, you see, it has a rich history that traces back to the small town of Oberndorf, nestled in the province of Salzburg. If one were to visit today, they would find a chapel near the Church of St. Nicola, which commemorates the very origins of this beloved carol. Now, even though this Christmas carol stands as one of the most popular songs in all of history, the very fact that we know it at all, my friends, is nothing short of a miracle. By the time he reached the cabin, evening had fallen. Upon his arrival, he received a warm welcome and witnessed a mother tenderly holding her newborn. You know, in that moment, Father Moore may have been reminded of another child, the Christ child, who rested in a manger. Later that night, as he returned to the village beneath the moonlit sky, he was enveloped by the tranquil atmosphere of the evening. It was a night rich with beauty and sanctity, inspired by the child he had seen, the calmness of the night, and the looming Christmas celebration. Father Moore was compelled to create a poem on his journey home. The words came to him effortlessly: Still night, heilige night, or silent night, holy night. However, on that particular afternoon, the church, it stood silent, its door ajar. Inside, Franz Gruber discovered that the organ was broken, leaving Father Moore without music for the evening service. What, I ask you, would Christmas Eve be without the joy of music? After persuading Franz that there was no way to repair the organ, Joseph Moore, he recalls that nearly 2 years prior, in 1816, he had composed a Christmas home. This 6-stanza piece, it was inspired by a winter walk he took from his grandfather's house to the very church itself. As he made his way along the snowy trail, his mind was filled with thoughts of the upcoming Christmas festivities. The forest stood in stark contrast to the bright snow, and the gentle sounds of a mountain stream accompanied him on his ascent. It was evening when he finally arrived at the cabin and reflected on his past writings, feeling as if the Lord was offering him a lifeline of hope. Father Moore, he shared a poem with Franz Gruber. Moore presented his poem to him. Can you compose music for these lyrics? The song will need to be played on a guitar. The priest looked at the clock, saying, Please, Franz, the time is so short. Leaving Gruber to ponder in solitude. And, yes, a hopeful prayer for inspiration. As Gruber read the lines, he realized it was a Christmas composition, suggesting a simple yet beautiful tune he first played on his guitar. A few hours later, Gruber, he shared his new music with Moore at St. Nicholas. And oh, the priest, he quickly approved it, allowing the choir members to rehearse, completing what typically took weeks in mere hours. As they sang, they could never have imagined that Still Nacht, Heilige Nacht, would be cherished not just the following Christmas in their small village, at nearly 200 years later, celebrated worldwide. Silent Night is a song of praise that evokes memories of a dark night when hope seemed lost. It reminds us of the birth of Jesus, the Savior of the world, born to peasants and laid in a simple manger. And they will call his name Emmanuel, which translated is God with us. As stated in John 1:9, He is the true light that illuminates everyone entering this world. He was present in the world, which came into existence through him, yet it failed to recognize him. Today, during Christmas in 2025, many still do not acknowledge this light, that shining holy face of the baby who remains the light of the world. In Isaiah 29:13, we are reminded, the Lord says, These people worship me with their mouths and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me, and their worship of me is based on rules made by humans. This reflects the superficiality that has crept into the celebration of Christmas and Silent Night. While he came as a baby, there is another sign for Christians who cherish their faith, a sign that goes beyond the manger. We are directed to look forward. Matthew 24:30. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky. All the people on earth will cry in agony when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds, in the sky, with power and great glory. This, my friends, is the peace offered to humanity, and I wish it upon each and every one of you. Instead of focusing solely on the baby in the manger, let us instead look to his coming again in the clouds. May you find a silent night, holy night, and may the light shining in the darkness bring hope to your life. For Jesus, indeed, is that light.